Welcome to this evening webinar where the presentation is recorded, and I feel like a broken record saying this, but I will. The Q&A will not be, it will not be on YouTube. You will not get that unless you're able to turn up in the evening and join us. And tonight's subject is one which I think is quite apt for the time. It's all back to face. And from a marketing point of view, we want to ask you the question, have you told anyone? Now, I won't mention my club's name, but you all know what it was. You probably all know what it is. And I went on to Meetup to find that we hadn't actually managed to change the fact that we were meeting face-to-face on Monday, and it was still an online comment. So, are you getting your message out? And I bet if you're honest, you're all gonna say no. Whether you have just gone face-to-face, you are just thinking about face-to-face, or just dreading the concept of going to face-to-face. Wherever you are in this particular journey, for your marketing team, your VP PR specifically, and your VP of membership specifically, but anyone else who's helping with the promotion and the marketing of your club, I have to ask, are you getting the message out there? You almost need a moment of truth for your marketing campaigns to make sure that on your website, it says clearly what you're doing and on which week. On your Facebook page, it clearly says what you're doing on each week. All of your promotions, if you're promoting an Eventbrite, have you differentiated between when you will be physical and when you will be online? Have you done the same thing for Meetup? As I said, our club, we missed that. We missed that trick. And that's what prompted me to do this presentation. Are you getting the message out there to all the people about what you're doing? Now, somebody's going to say GDPR, but this is not a GDPR issue. If somebody has been to your club in the last year, maybe in the last 2 years, you have their contact details, you have a legitimate reason to send that person an email to let them know that you are meeting face-to-face because your type of meeting has changed. That is not spamming. That is telling them of a change. There is no problem in doing that. There's no problem in putting a message on your Meetup board to say that you're changing the way the venue is being held. You want to be cheeky? You haven't decided yet? Why not put the question on your social media? Would you be interested in coming to a face-to-face meeting? Is there anybody who understands how hybrid works? So people may volunteer ideas, may volunteer venues. Are you getting the message out there? No, you're not. We know you're not. But here's a great time to almost wipe the slate clean. Give it a fresh look and have a look at what you're doing and make sure that it's apt for the new world you're working in. And let's be honest, we don't know what's going to happen in the next 3 to 6 months. We could have a bad flu virus. We could have a really cold spot. We could run out of energy. Crikey, we've got a gas and electricity and fuel crisis. You may have to change your venues at very short notice. You may have to cancel a meeting at very short notice. There are so many reasons why, many more than usual. So make sure you have a good, secure way of contacting your members. When I say secure, I don't mean encrypted. I mean secure as in you can send them a message and they get the message. It's all well and good having a WhatsApp group, but do everybody who's on that WhatsApp group actually get the message? Says the guy who got a reply from his hairdresser a week ago and has only realized this morning. Do you differentiate between your online meetings and your face-to-face meetings? You need to, because you've now got the chance for 2 audiences. You've got the chance for 2 audiences because you've now got 2 types of meetings. The reasons why people go to the different meetings will be different. The types of people that go to the meetings will be different. The way they want to join you and work with you can be different. And then, of course, it's buy one, get one free, isn't it? Because if they join you as an online member, guess what? You can come to the physical meetings. If the physical meeting, the only physical meeting they want to come to is your Christmas party, who cares? You've given them buy one, get one free. Notwithstanding, of course, they could still go to all the other online meetings, but you probably don't want to mention that until you've got their membership, do you? No. So how are your guests going to join your club now? Yeah, I remember, I mean, maybe I dreamt it, but I remember a long while ago, I had to drive to this place in Epsom. It was a civic centre, and there was a car park there. And you'd park in the car park and get your ticket. And usually the first way I found guests coming to our Toastmasters meetings was they were having trouble trying to work out how to use the ticket machine. And that used to be my way of meeting new members. And I even tried to steal people who were going to the Civic Centre for other reasons and try and get them to come to Toastmasters instead. Great place for hiring people. But how do guests join your club? We've been so used to just sending out Zoom links. We've now got to go back and remind them how they do that. So get content to promote your face-to-face venue. There's probably a photograph of it on the internet that you could borrow. I doubt your venue is going to complain if you use a photo of the venue to promote an event at your venue. You might even have some photos of many years ago. Oh, it's not that long, but it does feel like it. When you actually went to a physical meeting, go and find some of the pictures from that. Promote your face-to-face venue if you're going to use it, because it is different. Let's be honest, it is different. If you aren't sure whether you want to go face-to-face, why not get one of the pictures and try and get a discussion going? Get people to start thinking about it. Get some feedback. You may just prompt some people to say, well, if you're going back to face-to-face, I'd love to join. This could be enough to give you the tipping point, to give you the confidence as a club to go back to face-to-face. And if you're worried about the number of people turning up to your face-to-face meeting, let's just remember, it's just as obvious online when you're short members as when you have a face-to-face meeting. And let's also be honest that you only need, I think I worked it out that you can run a meeting with 6 people. Because as long as you've got a timekeeper, somebody to open the meeting and somebody to speak, you can more or less stop there. Hopefully you've got somebody else to evaluate. And there's no harm in starting a meeting with only 6 to 8 people. There really isn't. In fact, it's probably a good COVID way of having a meeting, spreading the people out. It's also perhaps good for the people that are coming, because although we're really excited about meeting face-to-face, we're all a little bit cautious as well. And therefore, if your first meeting only has 8, 9, 10 people, it doesn't matter. As my mum said, it's okay. It doesn't matter. Those people that can't meet face-to-face for reasons, like I have a reason why I wouldn't want to leave my mum in the evening on her own, that's fine. They'll still put the effort in, and they'll be the ones that drive your online meetings. So have a look at what you've got. Get some content about your face-to-face meeting. And when you have your face-to-face meeting, take some content there. Obviously, remember, you should be asking people if it's okay, but there are very few people that really are worried about having a photo of whether they are or not on a Toastmasters meeting. It's not the sort of thing you really have to hide. So it's time to check your marketing. This is a really good excuse to go back and look at your processes and see how they're working, because they won't be correct. think of them at the different stages. Your promotion. How are you going to promote? If you're not going to face-to-face, do the exercise anyhow, because it's a good way of cleaning up your systems, making sure that everything is working correctly. So how are you promoting? How are you promoting the different types of meetings? How are you promoting how they get there, whether they go onto Zoom or whether they go physically? Once people say they're coming to the meeting, are you going to follow up? How are you going to follow up? In the good old days of face-to-face, I used to send out, when I was VPP, I would send out an email with the directions how to get there, comments about the buses, the trains, and everything else, and a link to a Google map so they could check it on the map, and a photo of where the rooms were so they could find all that data, all that information about how they get to the meeting. And then when they visit the meeting, what do you give them when they get to the meeting? You're going to have to print out those inquiry forms again, aren't you, to collect the data? I've been trying to work out where ours are. I've got some buried somewhere. Those little forms where they fill in the details about who they are. And if you're staying online, then what's your online version of that? How do you get the information off people? I mean, scary thought, but some people may want to join. So what are you going to do there? Have you got an online form? Have you got a way to take payments online? I know most of you haven't. And I really, 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 really want to say, guys, stop handing out bank account numbers and sort code. This is the 20th century. It's the 21st century. And we stopped doing that quite a while ago. What's more, thanks to COVID, people are more happy with doing stuff online. They are more happy getting a credit card or a debit card out and paying for stuff online. Take advantage of the things that COVID has helped us with and have an online payment system. If you haven't got an online payment system, then you better follow my videos because I have talked about it and there will be other videos about how to do it. Face-to-face. If they're meeting face-to-face, how are you going to take their card details? Again, don't give them the bank account and sort code. Take the money. So either have a page that they can go to and they can pay online, because if you've got that, then you could take an iPad, you could have a laptop with you, you could have it connected to the payment page, or if your payment page is mobile friendly, you could even offer to hand over your mobile phone to them and say, do you want to put your card details in there now and we can make you a member? You can do a speech next week. Make sure your systems are working. Here is a great chance to check through and see that they are working. Make sure they're working for face-to-face. And as I said, I'm not saying that means you've got to go face-to-face. Even if you're still considering about going face-to-face, now is the time to do this. For the people that are already going face-to-face, like my club on Monday, we are behind the curve on getting this organized. Look, I know it's okay. They're so excited about going back to the venue, they've forgotten all the other stuff. That's fine, but let's just have a step back, look at our things. Yes, enjoy your first face-to-face meeting, but after that, the excuse is gone. Get your marketing right. You should have a website. If you haven't got a website, I want to know why not. You should have a way to take your fees from members and guests. If not, I want to know why not. And when the meeting is over, you've got to follow up, whether it's face-to-face or online. Now, you may do it in different ways, and that's fine. When you've got a physical meeting, you can have meter and greeters who can create a relationship with those people. I would suggest that a meter and greeter should do the follow-up message to the person. The person at your club who made the best connection with the guest should be the person that does the initial follow-up. Even if it's just to say, it was great to see you. Our next meeting is wherever. that is online. If you want to join us for a face-to-face meeting, our next face-to-face meeting is this. I have passed your details on to our membership, our VP of membership, who will give you information about what you need to do if you'd like to join us. I don't want to hear about anybody saying you can only come 3 times before you join. That's a negative thing. Don't say that, please. But do say, if you are unsure about whether you want to join the club, that's fine. You are welcome to come back as a guest again if you want to. Make sure you follow up. You've got the details. You've not been doing it properly online either. I know these things. I am Lord Zoom. I know everything. You have not been following up well. So here's your chance. I've said it once. I've said it twice. I've probably said it a dozen times in this short presentation. But please, here is the excuse to get sorted and get yourself under control again. It's really worth it, because I don't want to be the deliverer of doom, but there are only 2 types of clubs for the future. The ones that get back on the horse and get going, and the ones that just worry about stuff. The ones that worry about stuff are going to be in trouble. The ones that get on and do stuff, it's never been easier to get people to join your clubs. Honestly, it's never been easier. If you go and monitor the social media out there, people are desperate for anything that helps them get on in life or just make sense in life. I didn't join Toastmasters to make more money, but since joining Toastmasters, guess what? I've made more money. I joined Toastmasters for my sanity, so that my mother laying down there next to me and I had some interest to keep us going. And by the way, she loves Toastmasters. I'll probably have to pay for membership sometime. People are desperate for the sort of things that Toastmasters offers. So please make it easier for them to join. Make sure your marketing makes things easy. And after that, it will be plain sailing. So we're now going to go to Q&A, which means this is the end of the recording. But make sure you are subscribed for all the other videos on the District YouTube channel.